Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dominic Peterson, aka Doug's on 503, talking all things Oregon football. If you're not following, if you're not subscribed already, go and smash those buttons below to join the Doug Zone family. We're always talking Oregon football at Doug Zone 503. Simple search, guys, on Instagram and Twitter. Go follow me on there to get the quickest Oregon updates from me. And if you're following me on there, you obviously seen the breaking news. Reason why we're on the podcast today is because we got breaking news all over the place. We got transfer portal Dante Thornton. Okay, wide receiver Dante Thornton is going into the transfer portal. He's officially announced he's entering into it. On top of that, we got offensive coordinator Kenny Dillingham bouncing to Arizona State. We touched a little bit on that already in the recap and analysis episode that came out today on Tuesday. The time of this recording is November 29th. Oregon just came off their loss to Oregon State like last weekend. So out of the Pac-12 championship, no game this Friday. We're waiting to see where we're going to end up, what bowl game we're going to end up. So exciting times to be a Duck. I know the season didn't end the way we wanted to, but things are happening and breaking news is happening. We're here to cover it for you. So let's do it. Let's talk about Dante Thornton entering the transfer portal. Dante Thornton, you know, he finished with 366 yards. Receiving 1 touchdown for this year for the Ducks. A lot of people before the season really had this guy, you know, probably is the number 1 wide receiver coming in. Me personally, I always saw Troy Franklin as a big time athlete, especially on film with his hands and his route running. I really liked him. We brought in a transfer in Chase Cota from UCLA that took a lot of play time from these guys like Seven McGee and Dante Thornton that a lot of Duck fans and during the spring, at least, right before the spring game, thought like Dante Thornton would probably be number 1 wide receiver and Seven McGee was going to be a big time star this year. And neither one of those things happened really. And these guys are not really from the Northwest. Okay, they don't really have ties to Oregon besides getting a scholarship here and playing for a little bit. And they got family back east, and both Seven and Dante Thornton here are looking to transfer out, and I've been hearing rumblings about Byron Cardwell going to be transferring out if he hasn't announced already. So guys are getting out. This is the new college football. If you're not used to it, get used to it. Okay, transfer portal officially opens up on December 5th, so that's when guys I'm pretty sure can start transferring out and going to new teams at that point, which will be really exciting. Dante Thornton came in as the number 7 wide receiver in the 2020 class, number 2 in Maryland, number 57 nationally. Sorry, excuse me, that was the 2021 class. But man, big time athlete coming in for Oregon. This is a big loss for Oregon. I'm not going to put it lightly. Signed with the Ducks in 2021. Big time wide receiver that was coming in with Troy Franklin, paired up with Troy Franklin. We all seen what Troy has done this year. And I think everybody was expecting this year to be Thornton's year. Okay. I don't think a lot of people seen Franklin stepping up, unless you've been listening to me since the spring. We chose Troy Franklin to be our breakout wide receiver for the Ducks this year. But Thornton, on the other hand, I always loved his game. I mean, big, tall, 6'5" with wide receiver that can really run. I mean, this guy is fast and can catch the ball. I just think that Chase Cota coming in, him being a more proven veteran on the team, I think working in the Dillingham offense, Chase Cota was really able to take over some things, especially in that spring game, and show out where Thornton really didn't put up that many numbers in the spring game, and Chase Cota did. Okay, he did his thing, and he stayed consistent throughout the year. Got to argue, Chase Cota is probably the most consistent, besides Troy Franklin, the second most consistent wide receiver on this team for the Ducks. And I really like Thornton, though, man. And it sucks because, Chase Cota would be leaving. You got 7 that, I predicted would be leaving. And, I think Thornton would be poised to have a really big year next year. With Dante Moore coming in, the 5-star quarterback, got a very elite quarterback coming in to pair up with this pass game. And this one stings because I think this guy is going to be a big-time wide receiver wherever he goes. And, it is what it is. It's the nature of college football. It's the way of college football in this day and age. And things are changing every offseason fast. That's how we've seen USC go to a 4-win team to about to probably be in the playoff. It's just the way of the game. Okay. You could stack transfers. You can really build your team. We've seen it with Oregon State. Oregon State does that a lot. They build their team with transfers. They don't really recruit that much. And that's what you can do. And the Ducks, fortunately, have a coach that can do both. They get a guy who can get effective transfers. We've seen it with Chase Cota, Christian Gonzalez, who came in. I mean, these guys were making big time plays for the Ducks. Christian Gonzalez is probably the best defensive player overall for the Ducks this year. And, for the coaches to have an eye out like that for transfers, I think that's a really good sign. I think Thornton leaving hurts, but I think, you lose one, you gain one, right? In this day and age with the transfer portal or even recruiting. You got 5-star Jury and Dickey, who would probably step right into that slot. So I don't see the Ducks really falling off much with this transfer. It does hurt, obviously, losing a big time wide receiver like that, big, tall wide receiver at that too, 6'5". I don't really know next year, unless you get a transfer in, if you're going to have a guy that with that size at 6'5" at wide receiver, with the wide receivers that are kind of left here. But we'll see. We'll see if we can get a transfer wide receiver that comes in. A lot of transfers are gonna be a historic year in transfer portal. It's gonna be one to watch for sure. So hey, best of luck to Dante Thornton. You played well for the Ducks when you did get your opportunity. Wish I could have seen you. I really bet if you would have just stuck it out. I really think, Dante, that you would have had a big year next year for the Ducks. It started. I think Chase Cota, just being that veteran, having a couple of years ahead of you in the college game, kind of just took advantage of that, and was really consistent and showed and was really good for the Ducks. But being from the East Coast, maybe he wants to be closer to Maryland, where he's from. Baltimore, Maryland. That's his hometown. So we'll see what he does, and best of luck wherever you go. I'll be watching, man, and cheering for you, no doubt. Okay, let's get into it. Now, the other news that we have on the docket is offensive coordinator Kenny Dillingham is officially Arizona State's new head coach. And, man, got to give it up. If you guys have been listening to this podcast, you guys would know that I've been calling this one for since probably game 4, game 5 of the season, where this offense has just looked really good all year, where the year prior, the Oregon offense was boring. We'd run up the middle. Not really like fooling the defense. Not really, he was a great offensive mind to bring in. Dillingham was a great offensive mind, Dillingham was a great offensive mind to bring in as OC, and did a really good job, opening up things for this offense, and getting passes down the field, getting misdirections. Obviously, people have their thing with the questionable calls. I have my opinion on it. Obviously, if you want to go prior videos, you can look at that. But look, guys, on those 4th down conversions at the end of the season with Washington and Oregon State, when they didn't work out, right? 0 for 5 in our recap video. You can go watch that on 4th down. They were 0 for 5 last game. The Ducks were. But, man, this is the thing. The Ducks were 73% on 4th down all year. So you're one of the best teams in college football on 4th down. You got one of the best O-lines in college football, 3 running backs that can really do their thing in short range situations at that. It's just tough. It's just really tough. And you got to give it to the defenses at the end of the season. Beavers, Washington, film probably went into it. A lot of things, that's probably one thing that Dillingham can look into, is probably adjusting his offense throughout the season a little bit, maybe making some switches. Because when you kind of run the same thing, by game 10, 11, 12, those guys are on to you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But, hey, congratulations to Kenny Dillingham getting his head coaching position. Really would have liked him to stick it out, maybe for about 2 more years, get a full 3 years here at Oregon as OC, see what he could do with Dante Moore and Jurion Dickey. But, he bring those guys in. I would expect him to try to pluck them away if he could. I don't see that happening. I think Jurion and Dante are pretty locked in. We got signing day coming up here. I think late December here, and then February 1st is the regular signing day. So we got early signing day approaching. We got the transfer portal approaching, guys. It's going to be crazy news season for the Ducks here coming up. So speaking of OC, now that we got a vacancy, this is my kind of little list of possible OC signings for Oregon. Kind of keep your eye on that. People have been kind of chatting about some things that I've been reading about. And I'm pretty sure Lanning has his guy already. I mean, the news might break as this episode comes out, and this might be all for nothing. But here we go. Here's the list. I got a couple guys here. Number one, I got Junior Adams. So Junior Adams would be a really good guy to promote within. You kind of stay within the program, what Oregon has done over the years in the past before kind of reaching out to new coaches nationally, as they've always kind of promoted within, right? He's the current wide receiver coach. Been all around the Pac-12, a whole bunch of West Coast ties. Junior Adams, really good wide receiver coach. He would effectively, keep the momentum of this offense rolling and keep the recruits intact. With Dillingham leaving, a lot of recruits were talking to Dillingham and locked in with him. He's going to take a lot of those guys to Arizona State, or at least attempt to. Arizona State's kind of a wildfire, but that might, have recruits might be in question will go to their second choice school, not even Arizona State. So this move might have a impact on recruiting. Having Junior Adams, somebody who's been there, somebody who the recruits probably seen and talked to while Dillingham was there, would be really good for Oregon. And by the way, this list, when I list them off, is in no order. I'll give you, my take on who I think should be the hire in this order. So number two, I got Joe Brady. Joe Brady here is the former offensive coordinator on that 2019 LSU team, with that national championship team with Joe Burrow at quarterback. Of course, if you guys watch that 2019 LSU team, hands off, like one of the best college football teams you've ever seen, right? Offensively, they just pretty much dominated everybody and went undefeated. Great offensive mind. It brings a great scheme to the game and can really maximize the full potential of an offense, no matter where he goes. And you bring in 5-star Dante Moore, 5-star Jurion Dickey. The recruiting classes have been stacked up already. The recruiting classes that are on pace right now at 2023 classes, 2024 classes, it's looking real bright. And if you bring an offensive mind like Joe Brady, things can get dangerous real quick. Now, the negative on Brady that I've seen a lot of people say is the guy just doesn't like to recruit at the college level. That's why you've seen that LSU team be great for 1 year and then just be so horrible in the last 2 years. And now they're kind of on the rebuild here, where it was a top 5 team, right? Before losing last week. They're still going to compete for an SEC championship here, but man, LSU's Joe Brady, that would be a good hire. Then we got Jake Spavital. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name correctly at all, but Jake Spavital was the former Texas State head coach. This is a guy I've been kind of reading on. Didn't really hear his name. Wasn't familiar with his name at all before I've kind of read it around in some articles. But I guess he's a pretty good quarterbacks coach. He really knows how to develop quarterbacks. And that's a huge factor in this offensive coordinator hire, right? Because you're bringing in a young quarterback. If Ty Thompson or Jay Butterfield, if these guys transfer, which I'm predicting, I'm not breaking no news. I don't know if they are or not, but I'm predicting they should, the way things have been going for them the last 2 years. I mean, I think they should look out there. That's what college is about, is opportunities, right? And I think those guys should look out and see what their opportunities are. But Jake Spavital, you bring him in as an OC, you can really develop Dante Moore into a great elite quarterback. He's already elite, right? Top 2, top 3 quarterback in this class. And you're bringing him in with a top 5 wide receiver. He got fired at Texas State, small school. So that's kind of questionable for me. But I think if you bring a guy that can, develop a quarterback, that's a big thing at OC. All right. Last but not least, we got my guy, Chip Long. Chip Long, okay, this guy, in my opinion, would be probably the hire that makes the most sense for me. Okay, I'll tell you why. He's worked with Lanning and Dillingham while at Arizona State, so they have connection there. He was Mike Norvell's offensive coordinator at Memphis, so he's under the Norvell tree. Dillingham came under the Norvell tree. Okay, that's where he's got all his learnings and teaching about offense. So if you want to, keep the Oregon offense looking similar to what it was this year, not really change it up, keep the same knowledge, same terminology kind of going, maybe change it up and tweak it a little bit, because you don't want the same exact offense, obviously. I think that would be good. I think that would be great, actually. Instead of bringing in a guy with a whole new offense, whole new terminology, and you're going to have to learn a third new offense. This guy wants to say what's up, guys. Hold on. Say what's up to Luna Cat. What's up, buddy? All right. So sorry, guys. So anyways, where was I at? So instead of having to learn a whole new offense, you bring in Chip Long, right? Chip Long, who has a connection with Dillingham under the Norvell tree and Lanning, right? They worked together at Arizona State. They began coaching together there, and they kind of expanded. The guy can also recruit like hell. So really good recruiter. He's at Notre Dame right now. So he's doing really well. So I think this would be a home run hire if we get Chip Long here at OC. I'm not sure if he has any play calling. Yeah, he was the OC at Memphis. So that'd be great. That'd be great. Chip Long would be great. All right, guys. So that covers this episode. How to do an emergency episode. There's some breaking news. You know, we got Dante Thornton out. Really wish him luck. We got Arizona State offensive or head coach now, Kenny Dillingham, gone to the desert. So congrats to them. Congrats. Wish them the best of luck. I appreciate everything you guys did here at Oregon. You guys were great. At really revamping this offense. Really appreciate you guys. As always, if you guys like content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. We just reached 400 subscribers. Really appreciate that. Let's try to get to 500 now, guys. We got to keep taking away. And we got to keep taking away and get to 500. Also, at Doug's on 503, don't forget, if you haven't already, at Doug's on 503 after this video, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, okay? And DM me, guys. If you guys see the video and you go ahead and follow me, DM me, say, hey, man, watched your video, love the content. I'll be sure to follow you back, no problem. As always, guys, go Ducks. I'll see you in the next one.